The Whaley House Hauntings. The Whaley House, nestled in the heart of San Diego's Old Town, stands as an unassuming two-story brick mansion. By day, it draws tourists fascinated by its storied history, but when dusk falls, the house seems to come alive, whispering tales of the horrors it has seen. Thomas Whaley, the man who built the house in 1857, could not have foreseen the dread that would infest his family's home. The land it was built on, however, was already cursed. It had been the site of San Diego's first public execution, the hanging of Yankee Jim. The tall, gaunt man had been convicted of grand larceny, and as he was led to the gallows, his eyes burned with defiance. But as the noose tightened around his neck, that defiance turned to terror. The rope was too short for a clean break. Instead, he dangled, gasping for breath for an excruciatingly long time, kicking and twisting in the air as the crowd watched in horrified silence. Whaley purchased the land despite warnings. Soon after the Whaleys moved into their brand new home, the disturbing phenomena began. The first signs were subtle, strange knocking sounds like someone pounding from the inside of the walls. At first, Thomas chalked it up to the house settling. Then late one night, he awoke to the unmistakable sound of boots scraping across the wooden floor. The footsteps grew louder, moving closer to his bedroom door. When Thomas flung the door open, he was met by nothing but a cold, empty hallway. But the air felt thick, oppressive, and suddenly, the smell of damp earth filled the room. It wasn't long before the rest of the family started to suffer. Thomas's daughter, Violet, began to spiral into a deep depression after her disastrous marriage ended in scandal. She claimed she could hear whispers at night, soft at first, then louder, voices that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. Her family dismissed her, thinking it was simply her fragile mental state. But one night in her room, overcome by the oppressive presence that had been haunting her, Violet took a pistol and shot herself in the chest. Her death only seemed to stoke the malevolent energy within the house. The servants spoke of fleeting shadows that seemed to creep along the walls. Some claimed to have seen a tall man with a noose around his neck, walking aimlessly through the halls before vanishing into thin air. Others heard the agonized gasp of a man struggling for breath in the dead of night. Visitors to the house today report an overwhelming feeling of dread, a sensation that something is watching them from the shadows. The ghost of Yankee Jim is often seen, a towering figure lingering near the archway where he once swung from the gallows. They say if you stand in the parlor in silence, you can hear the faint creak of the gallows and the tortured gasps of a man whose life ended in agony, forever bound to the land beneath the Whaley House. But it's not just Yankee Jim that haunts the house. The figure of a woman, perhaps Violet, has been seen staring blankly out of an upstairs window, her face pale, her eyes hollow. Her presence brings a suffocating sadness, as though all the hope has been drained from the air. The Whaley House stands as more than a relic of history. It is a place where the walls seem to bleed sorrow, where unseen hands tug at your clothing, and where the air grows thick with the despair of the dead. It is said that once you enter, the house never truly lets you leave.
Enjoyed the content? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more awesome videos your way. Don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest uploads. Thanks for watching.